Hey, what's up everyone? Chris Sajnog here, and in this video I'm going to share with you my top 3 health and fitness tips that you can start doing today. These are absolutely free and they're going to transform your health. Now let's go ahead and get started.
And joining us from San Diego, Chief Petty Officer Chris Sajnog.
Joining me now is retired Navy SEAL sniper Chris Sajnog.
Welcome, Dr. Chris Sajnog.
Okay, so I've been talking about the importance of health and fitness as a critical component to living like a warrior for almost 7 years now. So I've decided to refine everything down to the top 3 things you should be doing right now to transform your health, and they're all absolutely free. In no particular order, my top 3 health and fitness tips are nasal breathing, cold exposure, and intermittent fasting. All right, first up is nasal breathing. If you breathe through your mouth, you are building up acid inside of your mouth, inside of your gums, on your teeth. Everything gets acid built up, and this is how you end up with tooth decay and gum disease. And because mouth breathing significantly alters the bacterial population in your mouth, that can lead to bad breath. Nasal breathing also keeps air in your lungs longer and can provide up to 20% more oxygen in your bloodstream at any given time. Nasal breathing also warms the air before it gets to your lungs by up to 40 degrees, and this is really important if you're in cold weather. The majority of bacteria, germs, and viruses are also filtered out by your nose before the air gets to your lungs, so this means no mask is needed. The truth is that there are many benefits to breathing through your nose compared to breathing through your mouth, and I don't have time to go through all of them right now, but here's one more that should convince you. Your nose constantly releases nitric oxide, but it only gets into your bloodstream if you breathe through your nose. Now, if you don't know, nitric oxide is a vasodilator, and what that means is it helps deliver blood to important areas of your body. Gentlemen, that means no more little blue pills just by breathing through your nose. Finally, the NIH recently concluded a study that showed that nitric oxide significantly reduces viral load from any infection, including those coming from China. Next up, let's talk cold exposure. Cold exposure literally makes you happier by releasing neurotransmitters. It releases norepinephrine, an anti-stress hormone, and epinephrine or adrenaline, which is what makes you feel so invigorated when you get into that cold water. There's even several ongoing studies right now that are showing that cold water or cold showers can be an effective treatment against depression. I don't have time now to go into all the benefits that cold water immersion or even cold showers can do for you, but just a few are that cold water will boost your immune system. It combats inflammation and arthritis. It aids in fat burning, regulating your blood sugar, and also weight loss. One study found that adiponectin levels increased by as much as 70% after cold exposure. Adiponectin is a protein that's involved in the regulation of blood sugar, and low levels of adiponectin are often found in insulin resistance. In another study, subjects who were exposed to cold stress had an 80% increase in their metabolism compared to their warm levels. Studies also showed that exposure to cold water, cold showers, can increase your levels of brown adipose tissue. Now, this is your good, healthy fat, and what that does for you, it increases your metabolism or the amount of calories that you burn just sitting still. From all of this, researchers have concluded that exposure to cold water or cold showers can be an effective and economical treatment for the current obesity epidemic. Hey, before we get to our next tip, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is Iconic Protein. My favorite is the Iconic Immunity Coffee Drink. This comes with 10 grams of protein. It's got MCT oil, it's got vitamin C, D3, it's got zinc, so it's going to boost your immune system and it tastes great. Iconic Protein only sources the very best ingredients for their drinks, including getting their coffee directly from Colombia. Now, I love coffee, so I sent my brother down to the coffee region of Colombia to make sure only the best coffee was being used. He flew into the Cali airport and then drove to the town of Salento, where he found coffee growing everywhere. Just like Juan Valdez, my brother inspected the coffee beans one at a time, ensuring only the best beans were being used. He then compared the taste of the coffee with the taste of the iconic immunity coffee drink and confirmed they were a match. I'm not sure where my brother is right now and if or when he'll find his way back, but you can order your iconic coffee drinks by going to iconiccoffee.shop/Chris and use the discount code Chris at checkout to get 15% off your order. Finally, let's talk about intermittent fasting, or what researchers call a circadian diet. This is currently the fastest growing field of science because it controls every aspect of our health. Every cell in our body has an internal clock telling it when to perform or not perform certain functions. Even 80% of our genes have an internal clock. And these functions are mainly the release of hormones and neurotransmitters. Think testosterone, growth hormone, even melatonin, so you can get that all-important sleep. These circadian clocks also control our digestion and our microbiome. Even the trillions and trillions and trillions of bacteria that we all have on and in our bodies, each one of those has an internal clock. And if that clock is disturbed, can negatively affect our health. Now, all of these clocks are on a 24-hour cycle, but they're affected by things like sunlight and the moon, and when you go to bed and when you wake up, and light and dark. But the number one thing that affects all of these clocks is when you're feeding and when you're fasting. The average American eats over 15 hours every single day. In one study, they switched participants to eating from 10 to 12 hours per day. They had no other dietary restrictions. They didn't restrict calories or macronutrients, anything they were eating, no exercise changes. And after 16 weeks, the average participant lost an average of 7 pounds. And even better is they all reported sleeping better, feeling better, having more energy, having more focus, all just from taking that 15 hours of eating and closing it down to a 10 to 12 hour window. Now, I can hear some of you saying, hey, Chris, I cannot fast. I can't do it. I've tried it before. I can't go 2 hours without a meal, otherwise I get hangry. Well, guess what? Yes, you can. We are all evolved to fast. Even the word breakfast means to break your fast, so you can do it. And you're just gonna do it the same way you would do cold showers. Get in the shower, turn it on cold for a second and scream your head off, and then put it back on warm and just get longer and longer. So it's the same thing with intermittent fasting and shortening the time of day that you're eating. And you wanna get to about 12 hours at least is the best thing to do. I do it about 6 to 8 hours every single day. But all you need to do is, say with breakfast, just delay your breakfast for an hour, even a half an hour, until you get comfortable with it. Once you're comfortable with that, then extend it on. Think of this not as a diet that you're going through. Think of it as a diet that you're moving towards, in a way of life and a way of eating. All right, that is it for today. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have somebody in your life that you want them to be just a little more awesome and you think this information could help, share it with them. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so and make sure you smash that little bell so you are notified each time I post new content. And until then, keep paving your path to perfection. And when I was here, I also met Juan Valdez.